Democrat member of the House in Texas named Jasmine Crockett. Imagine Joy Reid being in the House of Representatives. That's Jasmine Crockett. Angry, vicious, mean-spirited, nasty, race card, race card, race card. She was talking about Elon Musk and Vivek having a role in the Trump administration, referring to them as part of the greediest folk in America. Number 11.
Yeah, listen, I just had to speak yesterday in Ohio. And one of the things that I told people is that we need to spend the next 2, 4, 6, 10 years really talking about what it is that government does and what it is that we don't do. We need to start educating people. The more educated people were about what it is that we as government could do, the better they were able to make their choices, right? And so here it is. At least we had a candidate that would look at the price gouging that takes place with those at the top and say, you know what, you guys are just price gouging. This isn't inflation. This is greed. And guess what? We're going to go after you. Have you heard those types of words come out of Trump? Absolutely not. In fact, when we talk about grocery prices, one of the things that came out a little towards the end of the campaign was that a Kroger executive admitted that they had been price gouging. Listen, we still have a lot of people out here that are greedy because that's the country that we live in. And guess what?
Can you hold? Oh, get a headache. Can you check and find out who the Kroger executive was who said we have been price gouging? I'd like to know who that person was. I haven't heard that. The profit margin on grocery stores is anywhere from 1 to 1.5%. Very competitive business. Name the names of people who are price gouging. You hear it all the time. Executives are price gouging. Name some names. Identify them. Let's go after them. Let's punish them by not patronizing them since they're engaging in price gouging. How come we never get names? And she said, and a Kroger executive said this. What was that Kroger executive's name? Anonymous people saying we've been price gouging. People that don't know anything at all about running businesses. Kroger's is a publicly traded company, or at least part of one. The executives have a fiduciary obligation to maximize shareholder return on equity. Have you ever sold anything? You ever sold a house or a car? Did you try to get as little as possible for your house or your car, or did you try to get as much possible? I'm just asking. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe most people try to get as little as possible, but most people in my experience, maybe I just know greedy people. They try to get as much as they can. But when a businessman does that, that's called price gouging, even though you won't name the name. Now, the average Democrat household, by the way, makes more money than the average Republican household. My crack research staff has just entered in here. Kroger's senior director for pricing, Andy Groff, said the grocery giant had raised prices for eggs and milk beyond inflation levels. While testifying before the Federal Trade Commission, Kroger's senior director for pricing, Andy Groff, said the grocery giant had raised prices for eggs and milk beyond inflation levels. This is not all surprising, Drew Powers, the founder of Illinois-based Powers Financial Group, told Newsweek. Companies across multiple industries have been posting record profits since the COVID-19 crisis, while consumers have faced the highest inflation in recent history. The math can only point to companies raising prices above the general level of inflation. As the old saying goes, never let a good crisis go to waste, close quote. Kroger executive admit the grocery chain raised prices on eggs and milk beyond inflation levels. Milk and eggs. Retail inflation has been significantly higher than the cost of inflation. Newsweek reached out to Kroger for comment via email. A Kroger spokesperson previously told Bloomberg that Groff's comment was cherry-picked and does not reflect Kroger's decades-long business model to lower prices for customers by reducing its margins, end of quote. Well, here's my response. Price gouging is illegal. It's illegal. States have laws, and there are federal laws. Why hasn't Kroger been prosecuted? Why? Again, your job running a publicly held corporation is to maximize shareholder equity. Now, nobody's mad at Joe Biden for causing the inflation, though. But you're mad at an executive for raising prices, quote, beyond inflation. Let's go back to Crockett.
Still have a lot of people out here that are greedy because that's the country that we live in. And guess what? The greediest folk in America are now going to be the ones that are going to be running America, because he has decided that the millionaires and billionaires who were investing millions of dollars into his campaign, guess what? They're going to be the ones, regardless of their qualifications, that are going to run the government. But I can tell you one thing. I am going to push back and fight every single day that I can, because my constituents cannot afford to have billionaires telling them that they don't deserve their Social Security that they've paid into. 20% of my district live at or below poverty. And I know that they voted for the right candidate, whether it was me or whether it was Kamala Harris. My district got it right. So I'm going to do my part.
Oh, for crying out loud. Have you heard anybody say on the Trump team that people on Social Security were not going to get their money? Have you heard anybody say that? And because Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are billionaires, therefore what? Bad people? SpaceX? Not a positive thing for society? PayPal? Not a positive thing for society? The AI company that Elon Musk runs? Not a positive thing for society? Tesla? Not a positive thing for society? So if you have a product that people want, people pay for, and you become wealthy, you are therefore greedy? Okay, is there a no-fly zone over the Obamas? Big mansion in Hawaii, mansion in Washington, D.C., mansion in Martha's Vineyard. What did then President Obama say at some point? You made enough money. You hear about what Kamala Harris is going to get for her book that she's going to publish, where supposedly she's going to talk about what really went on behind the scenes when Joe Biden was thrown outside the window. $20 million. And maybe more with publishing rights, maybe more if they turn the book into a movie, the way Obama and Michelle Obama have had a lot of money from making films and documentaries. One person said, quote, it could be even more than $20 million with TV and movie rights, magazine and newspaper serial rights. Like the Obamas, who made a huge deal with Netflix. The monster streaming service is said to be waiting in the wing to do a deal with Kamala, we've heard. As we see it, her book would be the hottest White House and presidential campaign tell-all ever, and would sell like hotcakes to readers on both sides of the political aisle, end of quote. Now, is that going to make her a greedy multi-millionaire and therefore subject to the wrath of Jasmine Crockett from Texas? Or is it just when Republicans make money? And by the way, Elon Musk only recently became a Republican, if he's one at all. Initially, he said negative things about Donald Trump. Now he's a Trumper. Joe Rogan, for crying out loud, supported Bernie Sanders. And now he's a Trumper. So you only become an SOB when you become a wealthy Trumper, but if you're a wealthy non-Trumper Democrat, you're good to go. Is that how it works? All right, we get back. Secretary Mayorkas had an interview with CBS's Margaret Brennan. And she asked him, couldn't you have secured the borders without Congress? Thanks for watching these clips from The Larry Elder Show. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a moment. More thought-provoking discussions are just a click away, so stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.